5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name is Cynthia Preston. On behalf of the co-pastors and our Board of Trustees, we welcome you to Colby Memorial Temple for our Sunday service. To begin our service, Kara Cobb will light 3 lights, symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit. Here comes Kara down the aisle. You got it. There we go. There goes Spirit. Okay. Please rise as you're able for our opening prayer and remain standing for our first hymn. Infinite Intelligence, we welcome your presence among us here today. Help us to receive the words from this podium with love and understanding. Amen. Our first hymn will be led by our vocalist, Jamie Osmond, and it's number 162 in your hymnal, Spirit Calls Us. Jamie's doing double duty today.
Triple duty.
Triple duty.
We just had a technical difficulty, so give me just a second.
One moment, please.
Sorry. There we are. Okay.
Got it.
I think so.
All eyes will restless see, day and night these message bearers send the tidings where with thee. As of old the prophets heard them by the gallery in vain, so in homes and halls and temples till they come for our dear sake. Spirit calls us, for they love us. Angels help us hear the call. Send we back the affection's message. See my angels love and love. Angels call us from our troubles. Therefore, has lost its gloom. Even death is short of power. There is life within our tomb.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Located on the handout and in the front cover of your hymnal are our Declaration of Principles. Please join me in reciting these principles together. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual and that he makes his own happiness or unhappiness as he obeys or disobeys nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in the Bible are divine attributes proven through mediumship. The healing prayer is located on the back of your hymnal. Please recite it with me, our prayer for spiritual healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. And now for those of you who would wish to receive a spiritual healing, please take a seat along the wall and go to the next available healer. While the healers work, we will join in a short guided meditation. So for anyone who is seated, make sure you're comfortable in your seats. Maybe roll your head to the right or to the left. Relax your shoulders. Shrug your shoulders up and down. Maybe curl your toes in your shoes a little bit and switch them out. Make sure you're sitting comfortably. If you have anything in your lap, maybe put it towards the side. And take a deep breath in. And let it out. And take a deep breath in. And let it out. And if you can imagine standing behind you, a wonderful, beautiful angel or spirit guide. This beautiful angel has a jar of glowing liquid in their hands. You feel the radiation of their warmth behind you as the angel slowly tips the jar, and this beautiful healing light flows like liquid slowly into your crown chakra. As you feel its warmth, take a deep breath in and allow it to fill your body, starting with your head. Feel your eyes relax. Feel your jaw drop open a little. This warmth and light flows down into your neck, healing as it goes. Take a deep breath in and allow this beautiful light to flow into your shoulders. Any tension that you're carrying there is released. Your shoulders droop slightly. And this warmth flows from your shoulders to your upper arms and down your arms into your elbow, into your forearms. This warmth flows down into your wrist bones, all the tiny little bones in your hands. And you feel its warmth into the palms of your hands. As you're relaxing, take another deep natural breath and feel the wonderful warmth flow down into your chest, into your lungs, down your spinal cord, soothing and healing your lower back and your stomach. Any tension that you're carrying within yourself is healed. When you breathe this time, the light is going to go down into the hips, into the wonderful joints there, into the tops of your legs, down your bones into your knees. And the light pools and gels for a moment at your knees and heals everything that it touches there. And when you breathe in, the light is going to flow down into your calves and make its way down into your ankles. And breathe in again and allow the light to flow into your feet, all the way down to your toes, all the way to the soles of your feet. You are a being filled with light. On your next breath, the light flows from the soles of your feet down into the earth, connecting you with Mother Earth, connecting you with all the animals and plants, connecting you with the ocean and air. There is nothing that separates you from the natural world. And the next breath in, you can feel yourself walking on a wonderful sandy trail in a pine forest. Feeling the light and the shadow alternate on your body as you're walking. Breathing in the beautiful mountain air. Seeing the wonderful birds that are flowing from branch to branch. And there's something that is pulling and calling you towards the end of this path. And as you come up over a little hill, you see a glacial lake in front of you. And the water is so perfect and clear that you can see every stone at the bottom. And you walk on your bare feet through the sandy bank, and you dip your feet in the cold water. Thankful for the beauty of the earth and everything around you. You decide to sit on a warm rock and close your eyes and just be one with the earth. And you feel a presence come and sit down next to you on a rock. You don't know who it is yet, but you can feel the love radiating from them. You want to open your eyes and take a look, but you're afraid. More love comes towards you, and that fear disappears. And you recognize the one sitting next to you. This being has a message for you. Relax and listen to their message. They ask you if you have any questions, and from the depths of your heart, a question comes up for them. Let them answer it in perfect understanding. They tell you to open your eyes, and you see in front of you that there's now a temple in the middle of the lake and a wooden walkway leading towards it. They tell you if it's your wish, you can go into that temple and receive a healing. You walk slowly on the wooden pathway out to the temple. And when you walk in, there's a wonderful, beautiful light that seems to come from within the temple. You lay down there on the mattress that's provided, and you feel them coming from around you, more beings of light than you've ever known before. And they're here just for you. They stand at your feet, they stand at your side, they stand at your head, and they send beautiful waves of light through you. You're breathing more deeply than you have in a long time. You're more relaxed than you've been in a long time. The being that is standing at your head gently places their hands over your ears. You can feel them transmitting knowledge to you. This knowledge is not in words. Its energy fills you. From one breath to the next, you can feel them leaving one by one. And you stand up in the glowing light of the temple. And you walk back on the wooden dock towards the shore. Your guide is waiting with you. And you walk together back on the path through the woods, content just to be with one another. And your guide wants you to know that this beautiful place of love and healing is available to you whenever you need it. They will always be there to serve you in love and joy. As you reach the end of the path, you thank your guide from your heart and embrace them. As you breathe again, you're back in Colby Temple, back on this wonderful spring day. And you brought all of that love and care back with you. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Welcome back to Colby Temple, everyone. We'd like to thank our wonderful healers, Joy Lager, Darlene McCormick, Daryl Demerit, and Jackie Arnold. If you've received a healing resulting in a correction or improvement today, please complete the yellow card in your hymnal and give it to the pastor at the back of the temple. Or you can actually mail the card in to us if you want to. You may also want to place it in the collections plate. And again, we'd like to thank all our wonderful healers for healing us today. Please stand as you're able for our next hymn, which is number 59 in your hymnal, number 159 in your hymnal, called Open My Eyes.
Open my eyes that I may see glimpses of truth thou hast for me. Place in my hands the wonderful key that shall unclasp and set me free. Silently now I wait for thee, ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me, Spirit divine. Open my ears that I may hear voices of truth thou sendest clear. And while the wave notes fall on my ear, everything false will disappear. Silently now I wait for thee, ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my ears and illumine me, Spirit divine. Open my mouth and let me bear gladly the warm truth everywhere. Open my heart and let me prepare love with thy children thus to share. Silently now I wait for thee, ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my heart, illumine me, Spirit divine. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you so much, Jamie. I'd like to introduce our speaker for today. He's a wonderful healer and medium, has been a member of the camp for many years. If you'd like to take one of his classes, which I highly recommend, his schedule is on joyofcasadega.com. And then we introduce our guest speaker, Joy Sagar.
Thank you, Cynthia, for the wonderful introduction, short and sweet. How is everybody doing this morning? It's a pleasure to be upright, right? I think it would have been a pleasure otherwise too. So before we get into the dialogue and the conversation for the day, I just want to remind everybody when I speak inspirationally, I speak from my heart. So we all get to discover the dialogue together. So just recognize that. The next thing I would like to mention and get it out of the way, we are all grown up. We are not like to be told what to do and how to do things. So if it comes across as that, then take it as a reminder and apply it as applicable to yourself. So please recognize that. Another thing that I would like to get out of the way is the journey with our philosophy, religion, and the science of spiritualism is very gracious, very humbling, very phenomenal, because we get to feel our tissues and cells vibrating alongside with those that have passed on. And we get to witness that in our own different ways, and all those ways can be similar, but still unique at the end of the day. So just recognize that aspect. February 7th, I stood at this podium and gave the lecture. The same morning, one of our long-term teachers, medium, Reverend healer, Reverend Don Zangi, gave the Sunday morning lyceum. And he has transitioned to the spirit side of life since then. And I'm just recognizing I'm here. And today we'll have a celebration of life in honor of him at 2:00. Life moves very fast. February 7th is not too far back. And we're not talking 1996, we're talking this year. So life is very fast moving. Are we embracing that in the best way possible? We also have few of us present here that have seen life and death in the same moment and being alive again. So we would understand that life does move very fast and we have to just be present with it as the best part. So through my beliefs and understanding within spiritualism, I am impressed by all faculties that it talks about, the healing, as I have witnessed energies and spirits come through forward for the recipient, not necessarily for me, but for the recipient to do what they need to do and perform the task of healing. Even today, this morning, as I was participating, I could feel it's not me, nothing to do with me, but have that place of presence that something is working through me for the highest good, and it has passed on to that. So I recognize that on a day-to-day basis. When we do mediumship work, we continue to recognize that communication that is sometimes unusual, but very pertinent to the journey of the recipient again. It may have aspects that I could take for myself as a learning and teaching tool, but I do know something is moving, something when the emotion, the feelings, thoughts move, they are very potent and viable to not miss. So spirit, after passing, is still a very wonderful instrument in our lives to shape and form and guide and nurture us in the best way possible. And that has been a wonderful experience for myself. I'm also very curious about physical phenomena that happens once in a while, but I would like to happen more often. So I keep putting my intent out there. So it will manifest when the timing is right. And thus that phrase, everything in divine timing, maybe not in my timing, in divine timing. So I'm looking forward to it. But what really inspires me is the philosophy of spiritualism, because I feel it is the never-ending fuel that has been provided to those that take rest in it. And it's never-ending because it's self-propagating, it's perpetuating, it's supportive, it's encouraging, and it's ever so forceful to push us close to ourselves. And through that, we can evolve and be close to our own essence. Sometimes our essence get layered by our materialistic endeavors of our life or the responsibilities that we have. So philosophy, at the end of the day, within our journey, regardless of your belief system, is what fuels the things. So please understand that. So I'm going to be using a little wonderful book that just was kind of sitting for me at my bookshelf. And the book is titled The Law of Higher Potential. And this is by Robert Collier. And I have privilege, whoever has given me this book has my name with a little sticky note on a page. So I didn't really have to do much work when I was drawn to this book. I had to just say, oh, it's my name is there. And this is what it says. You see God incarnate himself through you, but he cannot be shut up. He must be given out, expressed. You put him into everything you do, whether towards failure or success. You are inseparable from the creative forces. You're a part of the fountainhead of supply. And thus, the philosophy of nature or the attunement with the divine forces, our infinite intelligence, and so forth, are never ending. What ceases is our understanding of it or our halt of it. We pause something and stop to grow, or we move into a different potentials for ourselves, going one step to the next step. And the next line says, what then you must do to win riches and success? Give. And that's what it answers, give freely of what you have. And I'm pretty sure I'm no different than you are, but I have observed there would have been phases in my life where I was giving to get something. The rule of reciprocation, what we put out there we get, but this only says give. It doesn't say ask back for what you give. And sometimes we align ourselves with those that are favorable to us and leaving out those that are not favorable to us, but do they really go anywhere? No. Because everything that is favorable in your life doesn't really lead you to anything more or anything less. It just becomes very mundane. So the oppositions in our life are always there to spruce and excite our spirit of growth. They're not there to challenge us, really. We feel challenged by them, but there are a perfect potential of growth and recognizing there's something more we need to discover ourselves, right? So how many of us paid attention to the principles that you read this morning? Do unto others as others should do unto you, right? It's a golden rule and it's applicable to all of us, right? But what does that mean? If you do also understand any theories or understanding of karmic index or karma, sometimes it's a controversial topic to work with, but here we are. But if you understand the aspects of karma, how does that golden rule apply to that? Is it a individual exchange of do unto others as others should do unto you? Or it means it applies to all. In other words, if I exchange something with an individual, does that karma completes there? Karma, I feel, has a little bit more broader connotation than one individual experience or exchange of interaction. And that's where I feel there's a little passage that I read from that space says, when you give freely without a sense of expectation. You offer through your spirit. Your spirit will never diminish. But if you are only there, that benefits you in whatever way possible you're hoping for, there's something to it. And it's for each and every one of us to figure that out. It's not to be told what that is, but has to be figured out by living through our lives and the consequences thereof. The law of cause and effect is operational. And let me say this before I get further into the natural law for a little bit. None of us are above and beyond the natural laws of life. Spiritual laws, natural laws, physical laws, they are applicable to one and all. Nobody is higher than that. Nobody is barred from it. So if you're doing something, thinking that you are not affected by it or affected by it, you have to recognize you're not barred from it. You're not. You may think that way just for your own self-assurance, but are you really barred from the cause and effect? No. And the simple answer is what goes out comes back. It may come back in a different form, shape, and size, but it comes back. So we are not barred with it. We have to live that moving energy within us from day-to-day basis. So in our journey yesterday, one of our wonderful teachers talked about law of attraction in one of the workshops. And this morning, a part of my dialogue to my sources that are working here with all of us, we're talking about the law of gravitation. And it could be taken in many different ways. And yes, it should be taken humorously, as one of our spiritual friends got tickled by it, because if we are taking things humorously, we may still feel the effect, but it has an ability to propel us out of there in much quicker form. So using a sense of humor or sense of presence with it makes it easier, right? But if you see anything less than that, then it sticks around for a little while longer. Where you put your mind, you create. That's one of our teachings that are there. So we're seeing something that is amiss. We need to really look into ourselves. What is amiss within ourselves? And I speak this not for preaching perspective, but saying I've lived those things through my own shoes, and it has humbled me every time I've come to the realization. I am not above these laws like anybody else is. And that's just how it is. So the laws of manifestation work on cause and effect. Whatever we are doing, we will receive. It doesn't mean that you can only always do the good things, because think about it. If you're doing good for one, could that be affecting somebody in a not so good way? So we put out the best effort, but of course, if you think the realistic aspect of life, somebody at somewhere is at a slight or disadvantage from it. They're not at the greatest benefit of it. So do the best you can, move through that spaces. And then once again, this is a life learned lesson, and I'm very okay in experiencing that part. So we have this life altering examples and change in our life that brings us to, how are we guiding? What did I do to be in this experience that I am experiencing? Well, not an easy answer. We can come up with a lot of logical reasonings and suggestions, but it's not a simple answer, because if you then further take into another controversial phrase of reincarnation, or many lives before this one, or quantum lives parallelly running into our field of existence, could it be coming from this lifetime, this experience, or could we be experiencing something from a different time-space continuum? Think about it. So it gives you a little more space of depth and understanding to what that is. But what is intriguing for me, the communication from those that have gone before us. Because I have very debatable aspects of it, and I'm still working through it, because I'm not here for any sense of absolution, but I have to sit on whenever I have something. So yes, I look for signs just like you do, confirmations or some suggestions to where that path is. And I share this very profoundly. When I got into the studies, there were guides, gatekeepers, helper, healers, chemists, joy guides, etc. So I was so excited to set that frame of reference for myself, and it didn't work so well. I identified some, and that's just ebb and flow for my development. And then I came to understanding we have to have an animal totem and everything. So I'm here not dismissing anything, but I'm sharing my story. I wanted owl to be my animal guide, because it's wise, it's classically very patient, and it has such a beautiful metaphorical sense of that. I wanted owl to be my guide, and the owl still hasn't showed up. I'm not disappointed, and I'm not giving up, because Spirit provided a different animal source for my confirmation, and it's not cardinal, it's not anybody else. It's a red-shouldered hawk that became my buddy. So all red-shouldered hawks for me are called buddy. And they show up when I am not even thinking about what I need to be thinking about. So my first example of this sign from the above and beyond, I'm sitting at a critical decision at an intersection, and just my mind is all over the place. And I'm wanting to know if I made the right decision as I was walking away from after the fact. And this red-shouldered hawk swooped 2 inches from my windshield. And it's sat right in front of me. And while I was there for less than a minute, there was a sense of peace that came upon me. I was just okay with that. I was okay with my decision. I was okay with the journey of life. It was just there. And since then, the red-shouldered hawk is a very repetitive thing. And I usually, this is what I've created, not when I'm thinking of what I need to think about, get my attention in the most unusual, unpredictable time. That's my sign. So it's not to validate my immediate thought. You show up whenever it is. And there's a certain language. So I'm challenged in details and I sometimes get caught up into it, but I created that dialogue and it has worked out just fine. Owl is still missing. So if anybody is familiar with my journey with animal, bird, wildlife photography, I look for owls and owls never show up. All other birds and creatures, critters, bugs, spiders, everything else is showing up. The owl is still missing. And I'm so enamored by others taking this picture of these owls and the babies and everything. It's so phenomenal, but I'm just still okay with it, but I now use it as a sense of humor and amusement. I'm still looking for it, but it's not showing up. But that's not a disappointment anymore, but it's a sense of excitement to share the story. This morning, I had nothing on my agenda of my thinking process. I was completely blank as a blank slate gets. Time kept rolling and I'm like, where are we gonna go today? Where are we here? And I just know the philosophy was just running through me because that has sort of become an essence within my journey. So, anybody's played Wordle? I played my morning routine. That's my morning routine. So I was playing Word. So first line didn't make it. Second line had 2 words in it. The third line showed up. It had 3 words in it. And the 4th word was spelled. I just guessed it right. There's no intuitiveness there. I just guessed it right. And it turned out to be my father's first name. And he's been gone for many years. I don't even remember exactly what date and what month, what year he passed on. I've just such a blessing of being in the presence of those that have passed on. I just know the relevance of their essence, not so much in the detail, but his name showed up. And I'm like, oh, I got my sign. That's it. That's it for today. And that'll keep me happy. April 16th was his birthday. So I'm being reminded after his birthday that his birthday was there. But I'm just so overjoyed by seeing his name. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't need to worry about anything. Somebody's here. And then I just moved on. Found Robert Collier's book. And there are plenty of clips in here that I know I have read them all. But what I'm wanting to say to you, we are all on a journey of some kind, spiritual, physical, health, finances, or anything. All these things of nudges and reminders are always available to us. But at the same time, we have to be soft and pliable and gentle with ourselves because that is where sometimes we need that shock absorbing feeling within our life lessons. And when we have that ability of softness, we definitely have the ability of understanding where we can be more than what we are. The spiritualism, in reflection for the last 200 some years, was a journey of sitting within ourselves, discovering our own potential. It was rarely a demonstrating endeavor to wow somebody. The wow was the information at that time. And that was just that, self-development. The circle was for only one person to develop our own potential. It was not necessarily there to identify mediums and healers or say who's better than who, but it was just to be present with those that were unseen. Includes our family members, includes our guides, angels, archangels, and all orders of spiritual essence. The purpose was not there to develop a sense of becoming a medium or a specific title with that. But the development was primarily the focus there. And through my current journey of this lifetime, not 200 years ago, there have been several individuals that have shared their story that they did not do it to become a medium, but their sense of accuracy was remarkable in my experience. So you understand that for yourself, what is the purpose and intention within the golden rule? You have to understand that, and you have to understand, regardless of what you do, somewhere the higher intent is observed more divinely than I can explain. So just understand that. And if you're really only focused about this lifetime, so it is, and that's okay too. So there's nothing right or wrong here, it's just how you observe your own journey, right? So how will you tap into your higher potential? A lot of us are thinking, we've got not too much time left. But time really doesn't exist, does it? Because if you're understanding the trueness of the quantum side of life or the expansive side of life, Life is just continually moving through a loop. It's a cycle, it's a circle. It's never has been identified as a straight line. It's not ever linear. It is in circle, and there are circles within circles. So you have to understand one circular motion is also embedded in the beautiful story of Goliath. It had to release the trajectory of a round object to take care of things. But sometimes we have to spit ourselves out of a circle that we feel we are caught up in. And the time and moment to do it, as soon as you realize you're caught up in it. Then you exit gracefully and enjoy that exit point, because there will be another circle waiting for you to join and work with. So the circle, the cyclic, the phasicness is saying you'll get out of something, you'll get into something. So unless the breath is running in the physical body, you'll get out of something, you'll get into something. And those that have experiences through their family members, etc., that go through cognitive disconnect with dementia and Alzheimer's, etc., understand they're in two loops. On the physical side, they're in a loop, and on the other alternate side of their existence, they are still in a loop of a different kind. So the loops and the cycles are an ongoing thing. But the good thing is, if you're square, you will find your circularness till your edges wear off. So be well-rounded. And I enjoy that analogy because I have a sense of humor. I'm well-rounded, so I can roll easy. So I try to bring that sense of humor as my own philosophical nature. But you understand, if you're being too pointed about something, it's going to stay there till it breaks off and softens your edges. It's just a matter of when. So allow yourself to be encouraged. Look at your life through, are you in your higher potential? And really, it doesn't mean it has to be top of the line potential. Whatever the potential was, did you give yourself in your highest, best form? And if that has anything to do more or less with the golden rule of life. So you understand that. Law of movement says we have to keep moving. And with that being said, I will read a little poem from this book that would make our conclusion as wondering as the whole conversation was. What you keep to yourself, you lose, wrote Monte. What you give away, you keep forever. And Irene Stanley expressed much the same thought in her little poem. And the poem is, you have to let go of the rung below. When you reach for the round above, there is no other way to climb, you know. You have to let go of the rung below. Each upward step brings more of the glow and warmth of the sun of love. You have to let go of the rung below when you reach for the round above. And may you all be inspired just as much as I am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, during our musical interlude, we'll be passing our basket. We thank you in advance for your generosity. Our musical interlude will be presented by Jamie Osmond. And we're experiencing a little bit of technical difficulty. She'll be here in a moment.
You guys are so patient.
Got it?
Give me just a second. I gotta get into my band here. Okay.
All right.
I got,
Go, girl.
I'm not gonna stand up there. You can get in.
Sure, okay.
Where'd it go? Sorry, I do have to tangle like 3 jobs today. So it's taking me a minute. Okay. It's all okay. Oh, okay. When the best of me is barely breathing, when I'm not somebody I believe in, hold on to me. When I miss the light the night has stolen, when I'm slamming all the doors you've opened, hold on to me. Hold on to me. Hold on to me when it's too dark to see you. When I am sure I have reached the end. Hold on to me when I forget I need you. When I let go, hold me again. When I don't feel like I'm worth defending. When I'm tired of all of my pretending. Hold on to me. When I start to break in desperation, underneath the weight of expectation, hold on to me. Hold on to me. Hold on to me when it's too dark to see you. When I am sure I have reached the end. Hold on to me when I forget I need you. When I let go, hold me again. I can rest here in your arms forever. 'Cause I know nobody loves me better. Hold on to me. I feel you. Hold on to me. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Wow. Good job.
We can assume an attitude of prayer. Thank you very much for wonderful contributions that we've received today. Infinite Intelligence, help us to use these contributions for our camp in the best way possible. Amen. Now for our announcements. Next Wednesday, April 24th, our message bearer is Joy Sagar. Next Sunday, April 28th, our guest speaker at our 10:30 service is Daryl Demerit. This will be a special service as Daryl will be receiving his healing certification. So please join us for that. Every Sunday, we have Adult Lyceum, which is also known as Adult Sunday School, from 9:30 to 10:15 a.m. And that takes place in the Andrew Jackson Davis Building, which is the building that has the bookstore in it. Next Sunday, April 28th, our Lyceum speaker will be Coquette Cruz. This afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. right here in Colby Temple, we'll be having a celebration of life service for Reverend Dr. Don Zangi, one of the longtime teachers and mediums here in Cassadaga, and we do invite you all to attend. Next Saturday, Reverend Dr. Phil DeLong will be doing a workshop called Crystal Skulls and the Earth Code from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Andrew Jackson Davis Building. Also next Saturday, April 27th, Diane Rivera will be doing a workshop titled Angelic Divinity Within Your Birth Chart from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. in the Andrew Jackson Davis Building. Please bring a notepad along with your date and time of birth. Please use our activity calendars for more details. To participate in absentee healing, please print the name and first initial of the last name of the loved one, friend, or even a pet in our healing book, which is at the left-hand corner of Colby Temple. Every Thursday morning, we have our healing meditation circle at 11 a.m. in the Andrew Jackson Davis Building, where all the names in the healing list are held in prayer. All are welcome to attend. Flyers for camp events are at the back of the temple. We also have an activities calendar and a church bulletin in your hymnal for you to take home or to give to a friend. And they look like this. Our website, cassadaga.org, also has the monthly information as well as other upcoming events. Please stand as you're able for our next hymn, which is number 110, Count Your Blessings.
When upon life's billows you are tempted and tossed, when you are discouraged, thinking all is lost, count your many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord hath done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God hath done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God hath done. Are you ever burdened with the load of care? Does this cross seem heavy you are called to bear? Count your many blessings, every doubt will fly, and you will be singing as the days go by. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God hath done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God hath done. So amid the conflict, whether great or small, do not be discouraged, God is over all. Count your many blessings, angels will attend. Help and comfort give you to your journey's end. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God hath done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God hath done. Thank you. You may be seated.
And for the message portion of our service, let me welcome back to the podium, Joy Sagar. Thank you, Joy.
I am grateful to see everybody awake. It's a wonderful place to observe this from. And I think it's a different meaning of awake, not just being with the eyes open. So it's wonderful. So I hope you recognize and remember the colors that you picked, and usually that's what I go for. So just acknowledge as I reach to you. The lady in the paisley blouse, no, the one behind you. Yes. Your first name, please. Kathy. Kathy, as I'm connecting with you, my sense is running through the word of forgiveness. And for me, I feel this is a part of your journey. And I think this is a lady that's on the other side, that as she's coming through, she's just wanting you to stick with like a theme for a few months. And I feel this is a great sense of internal work there. So she's bringing that. I feel like what she's also saying is, I'm not backing off this time. So she is going to participate. And I feel this is much needed for both of your journeys, for her on the higher side, for you on this side. So please recognize that. And I feel with that being said, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you. The lady, that's perfect. Your first name, please. Oh, second Kathy. Any other Kathys in the room? Then I'll stop saying who's next. So Kathy, as I'm connecting with you, what I'm wanting to see is there's a sense of curiosity in your auric field. And I feel like that's just about for everything. Travel, spiritual things, bank statements. There's a lot of curiosity there for you. And I feel like nothing is left off your chart. So as life's gonna push you through over the next couple of months, keep that sense of curiosity, exploration, just moving. I feel like you will have the desire to slow down or not do anything or feel gently disconnected with life per se, but your job is, I'm just gonna show up. Then let be everything else be figured out beyond that point is there. I also feel there's a gentleman that is coming from the higher side of life. He's passed on, and I feel somewhere what I was saying earlier to you has sense of application to him in that space. He was present, but not really present all the time. And he's not apologizing because he would not have done that anyways. So there is not a sense of apology, but relative sense of saying, I know what I did. And I feel like there is just a simple observation of that is there. Yet at the same time, he's still saying in a way that your emotions are still being sorted out through his scope of what he would have liked or what he would have done, or should I do it? And I feel like he's saying is try to create your own point of reliance. And I think this is a very sort of light but very valuable suggestion from him. You need to find your own compass of reliance. He's indifferent at this point, and he's also not judging anything at this point. So he has far more different space than he would have taken in this lifetime. Now, what I feel as though he had opinions and judgments, he had to be pushed in a corner to form that. Otherwise, if you leave him alone, he's A-okay. But if you push him in a certain order, he might give that judgment or give that opinion out there. But I think he's not justifying it, it's just how I feel how he was, is there. I also feel like there's a part of his self-indulgence is there that he did not have good discipline with his body for some reason, and he couldn't take care of his body in that order. And he's saying that is one thing he does regret. It would have given him quality, not the length, but it would have given him quality with himself. Because I just feel like he's miserable within his own physical space. But that has been restored on the other side, and that is there. Now, what I'm seeing is, I feel like he's reading more than he ever did. So if he has found a spiritual library of sorts up there, which I do believe it exists, he's reading everything. And I think he's just like reading a Britannica old-fashioned encyclopedia, and he's reading that. And I feel he's pointing that you do have a similar book. I don't think it's an encyclopedia, but you have book of references, so to speak. And I feel you have dog-eared in that book. So if you use that for anything for your own nurturing, please continue to use knowledge that is available to you, is there. So that flower arrangement of daffodils over there, I feel like that should be your draw for some reason, because as I speak with him, he just keeps sprouting small, tiny daffodils, is there, and he's saying is those are for you. So thank you for being here. Wonderful. The lady with the glasses on the top. Yes, how are you? Is that a tree of life in some ways on your t-shirt? It's a seahorse. Seahorse. No, perfect. I'm looking at the tree of life, so I'm just gonna stick with what I'm seeing. But as I'm working with you, I need to know your first name. Patty. Patty, as I'm connecting with you, what I will share with you, your anchoring at this time of your life is pretty good. Earlier on, I feel you responded to life in the best way possible. It's a reactive space, but also a responding space for you. So you've done a lot of decisions and choices based on that. And I feel like over the last 5-6 years, you have developed a practice within yourself to either stay centered or get back to yourself. Don't be too far away from your own conscious self. And I feel like it has given you a sense of order and organization within your own spirit. And I'm enjoying that because it is also saying that you are also finding a sense of detachment with things. You are not too attached to things. So you enjoy them, then you give grace and gratitude, and that's that. Do you understand that? Because I feel like this is a part of aha moment for you. And I feel you need to claim it. Maybe you need to tell it like a storytelling format to others, is there. I also feel there's a young woman that has passed to the other side. And I say young because I feel she has passed on way before her passing years. And I feel she is young and vibrant, but yet she has circumstantial responding of life to do. And I feel like somewhere she has grown bitter in her own spirit because of those circumstances. And I think that, like we say, what we embrace as energy, we respond to it in some ways. And I feel like she's giving me that little impetus of saying she embraced bitterness and she stuck to it, and then it got in her own way. And I think she passes out with an illness, and I think it's a short, quick moving illness is there. but so much gratitude for you because I feel like you saw her journey and you didn't say anything. You just let her be whatever she was at that point. And I feel she's saying you always was there holding her hand and also spiritually being with her through those days that you couldn't visit with her. Because I feel that support was unknowingly present with her. Now, my sense with it is I feel like she is returning favors to you. You don't need them, but she's just wanting you to know I'm also here as a part of you. And I feel from a spiritual side, I feel she's presenting that. So when I see her, I feel like she has a very radiant face. She has a very charismatic pull to her personality, whatever that means. But I just feel like if I were to just see her, there's a place where it feels like there's a radiant being there. But sometimes we choose a string of lessons that is whatever that is. So I see that space with her. And I also feel like she is to be remembered once again through as a part of her storytelling or lessons as they are needed for you. Right? Okay. The one thing that I'm wanting to just mention to you, if you have any desire to have a small aquarium in the future days, if you're looking at a koi pond or a little small space for you, you can vicariously enjoy it online, find an aquarium wallpaper somewhere, just have a sense with it, or then you can find something for your home. Somewhere I feel this lady is leading me, but she's moving on, but she's leading me with this thought of saying, to ask you to pay attention. If that's an element that you might want to have for grounding or contemplation, there might be some value in it. Plus, I think it qualifies for you. And thank you for being here. I think we're done. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, Joy. We would like to remind everyone that we'll have our afternoon message service from 12 p.m. to 12:30 here in Colby Temple. A group of mediums and student mediums will be giving spirit readings to as many individuals as they can reach during this service. Everyone is welcome. We encourage you to visit our bookstore, which is open from 11:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. today, and open Monday through Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Please rise for our closing hymn, number 203 in your hymnal, Let There Be Peace on Earth. And remain standing for the closing prayer.
Okay, I don't like how slow that is, and I think we all know it well enough that we can do it a cappella. Let's do it, right? All right.
All right,
All right.
here we go.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. When God our Creator children of let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my soul and vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. In peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Infinite Intelligence, we thank you for your presence here with us today. Help us to carry the messages from Joy into our lives and help us to remember that love exists around us and through us and in us at all times. Amen.
Amen.
Have a great week, everyone.